The KZN judiciary is speaking out against the intimidation of its members. The judiciary has expressed concern over the backlash against Judge Dhaya Pillay. She issued a warrant of arrest for former President Jacob Zuma. Some Zuma allies accuse her of having a political agenda, but the KZN judiciary says the attacks are interfering with the administration of justice and is a form of intimidation. For more on this, Alison Tilley from Judges Matter joins me from Cape Town. Good morning, Alison. Talk us through this intimidation that is being put out there.
Well, there are a number of different people who've made statements, and they include Carl Niehaus and a number of local people from the ANC. And the basic message from them is that this is politically motivated and that the judge should be careful. So certainly threats that are perhaps not directly threats against her life, but certainly very threatening and very concerning.
And coming from someone like Carl Niehaus, I mean, how seriously should we take it, talking of politics?
Well, I think the thing is that it is political. I think what perhaps many of the people who are criticizing her don't realize is that she's simply a judge granting an interim order in the matter. She's not the judge who's going to hear the final case. That hasn't been decided yet. And there are a number of other judges who've also had to give orders in the case. So I think, you know, deciding that she is the problem and that everybody needs to go after her is just ill-informed.
The impact of this sort of intimidation?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
What is the impact of this sort of intimidation?
Well, I think the judges in KZN are quite right to say that it undermines the rule of law. We need judges to be able to act without fear or favour. We need to be able to know that their judgments will be upheld. Judges don't have a budget. They don't have an army. They rely, and we rely, on the rule of law because their judgments are respected and judges are respected. So I think that is the most concerning thing, is that then gives people the idea that perhaps judges are behaving in some political way and that there's a conspiracy and that you shouldn't, in fact, obey the orders of the court. It's very problematic.
It's worrying, though, Alison, isn't it? I mean, if we're seeing this now, can you imagine if Jacob Zuma does make it to court? What sort of things we're going to be seeing?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult, and I think part of it is this idea that, well, the judges are political, and I think that's a narrative we really have to push back against. Judges have to deal with the law, and if you don't arrive at court without a really good explanation, the court has no option but to act in a particular way. And I think that this idea that judges are out to get people, I think it's a story that we really have to say is not a true story. It's not what judges really do. And to go around spreading that story is unfortunate, not just for that judge and not just for the judges in that province, but for judges across the country.
Is there anything Judge Pillay should be doing now in response to this?
Absolutely not. I think her colleagues in KZN have come out and made a very strong statement about, you know, that she is doing exactly what she should do. I don't think there's any reason for her to engage with this kind of commentary and these kinds of accusations, because they're simply not true and they're not worth dignifying.
Good to talk to you, Alison Tilley. Thank you.